Hey guys, welcome back. It's Grim Reaper coming at you for another video for Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully doing well. Hopefully you're looking after yourselves. So we're gonna do a juicy champion showcase today, and we're gonna go over this champion. He's featured once before on my channel in I suppose a fun kind of comp, and I wanted to cover this guy a bit more in depth today in a different video. Everyone is free, everyone will get him, and this is a free to play kind of style of team if you depend on how you look at it as. For me, this would be a free to play because say all the champions are quite accessible. Okay, so we're going to look at no other than Mr. LOKI. LOKI is obviously the login champion who is support. He's kind of got a lot going on for his kit, and me being dyslexic, I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes trying to read his kit and just like misword it and stuff like that. So LOKI Deceiver, he's a free champion. And we all can get a 5-star blessing. Now, a 5-star blessing is really strong and overall super good. Now, personally, I'm going to be fairly honest. I'm not too amazed with LOKI. And there's a couple of reasons why, which we'll go into this overall. But you can see that his rankings are actually quite good, right? Arena, offensively, defensively. We've got Faction Wars, which is quite good in apparently. And like so, I actually disagree with a lot of these with these ratings, okay? And there is a few reasons why. So I think Arena, I think he's probably mid tier, right? I think his turn meter is a bit situational with him needing to steal. If he doesn't steal a buff, then he gets a turn meter, which is a bit situational. I do like increased attack, but Arbiter, who is already a better version, does this much better in all fairness. So I can't justify saying, yeah, go for him, book him. Block buffs is not that powerful at the moment. Block tap skills is pretty nice, but again, Stone Skin is quite powerful right now in the meta. I don't see this being super powerful in live arena as well. He does have a nice passive which could be quite strong in the arena. Maybe I'm just overlooking his champion, but I don't feel like he is someone that really impresses me. AoE on E1, that's super nice. That could be great for provoke set, hex set, and all ways that you can possibly build him. Obviously, you can has a 30% chance of increasing the duration of all entity buffs, debuffs, which is super good again. So for me, his main places for him in this game would be HYDRA, Dark Fane, and Odin right there, the event boss. These are the three areas where I think you get the best out of him, and even then it's very situational. I don't really like this ability for HYDRA, if I'm being honest, because it takes a lot of RNG into consideration with like debuff spread. If you really don't get the block debuffs in your HYDRA teams, it is quite devastating. And nature of Wrath will pretty much finish you off if you don't land block debuffs, and if you don't have a reviver in your team or solid survivability. So overall, I don't see him being like amazing, and you really need to be careful of the team that you build him. However, he is usable. I would say he's pretty. I would say he's B tier legendary. I wouldn't rate him any higher than that, and there's going to be reasons for it. So anyway, we're not going to take him into Dark Fane, obviously, because Dark Fane's kind of their content, if I'm honest. It's more mid-game content, and that's also what I want to cover. And I'm not really going to take him into Arena because I just don't find him viable. He's very RNG. I think he's great with bombs. I will stand with that. I think he's a great option with bombs, which would be with Ashlif, which would be, sorry, wrong faction, which is going to be coming in with this one. I've done a video on this already, which is great against UDK, etc. Spread the buffs, doesn't need accuracy, super strong strategy for sure. Even then, it has flaws in it, right? And there is better champions that you might already have for that, depending on your roster. So let's go ahead, let's take a look into the HYDRA team that I've put together. This is more or less full auto. I've stopped it every now and again to kind of make it a bit easier. and then we'll do some breakdown where it will basically go wrong and where he will be good. Right, okay, so we're going to go into the team and we'll kind of talk about the team that we've put together. So we've got Ninja in here, obviously DPS, Frag and Fat in here for ally attack. Obviously, critical damage buff is pretty nice. Wixwell's in here for survivability, provoke, and debate mischief. We've got Lydia in here because she's got defense down and weaken, but also has block buffs, which is very, very viable. I turned it off. You see here, Loki is going to be the fastest in the team because that's what we want from Loki. So the second fastest. He needs to be the fastest debuffer in the team to land the block buffs without giving you any problems. And we got Samuel in here for our DPS and to deal with Torment, which is pretty nice. So it's a very nice team. You can see here we're opening with ally attack. We use to lock down Wixwell. We're going to do the defense down or weaken. Now I've actually turned off the A3 because again, if Wrath does get the ability of being able to do its passive ability, or we get resisted for any reason, or we can't put block buffs up, I like to use this for Suffering, Wrath, and Mischief. I actually prioritize Wrath first, and then because Mischief, with Suffering, we can steal that debuff with the A3, which we'll see, which we'll do in a shortly, which we'll kind of wanted to show you. And again, if it was an AoE still all debuffs, I would be totally fine with that. It'd make him much better and friendly with auto as well. Yes, you can put Veils out and extend it, but to be honest, it's so inconsistent. I feel like you need another champion with Veils, like a Duchess or Raidshadowlegends or someone like Samuel, where you don't have to worry about being true feared, because he will get true feared a lot with the AoE on E1. So kind of curious that it doesn't put Veils out all the time, which is a little less down again slightly, because otherwise you wouldn't need Samuel at all. So that's what kind of my thinking is. So we lock onto DK because we want this to be basically auto. Ninja's got refresh and savage on him, so not refresh, sorry, he's got impulse. And then we also using the stack from, what's it called, pinpoint, not pinpoint, the inset buff to kind of help out with the provokes, etc. as well from Wrath. So you can see here we're starting off, we're doing some bit of damage. Obviously Loki brings this increased attack, which is super solid and really needed in HYDRA. Personally, the thing that just puts me off with him is he's not very friendly with auto. That is what puts me off with him. If he was more friendly for auto, I'd actually be a bigger fan of him. He's definitely aimed at HYDRA. You can see there's the AoE on E1, which again, if there's no Samuel, you can see there's no Veils left up on him. Obviously Ninja obviously gives itself a veil as well, so that's where that veil's coming from. Now you could try and spread the veils from Ninja, but I feel again it's just a bit meh to try and do that. And you see here we stop the runs a few times to kind of see if there's anything I can do with like with the block buffs, keeping block buffs down, because we don't want Mischief to steal our buffs, which he will do. And when you put an inset out, it kind of makes the targeting go everywhere with Mischief. So you can see here that's turned off, and I've been able to allow it. So that's it about the run. He's just not very friendly to auto, like to hack really, which we kind of knew this when we did his key, and that's what makes me drop his rating quite a significant amount of overall. So anyway, let me go ahead and run this for you guys. Enjoy the music, and then we'll come back and see his build, and then we'll talk about masteries and what possible sets that we could potentially use to get a full better potential out of him over this. so you can see here, very strong overall. This is a fantastic team for anyone who basically is coming into. This is a mid game team or a end game, no, late game team. This is not an end game team. Yeah, like my teams do way more damage than this. It wasn't trying and sell this to in-game players. I don't feel like actually Loki gets in in-game players teams. Hopefully I'm not wrong about that, but maybe someone will find some use. I know there's some versions of him now with Yannick and Wixwell comps, which honestly, me and Fabian looked at this when he first come out, and it was absolutely an RNG fest, even worse RNG than the last team. So I don't really want to recommend that team. It looks like torture when it comes to RNG, right? Unless you have like 4 or 5 hours a day to kind of do these teams. These Chiefs teams can be a little bit frustrating than the traditional team, which does way less damage, but it's just one of them. So you can see here we've got good damage coming in from Lydia. Lydia's in the Hex set. We've got Samuel is obviously really good Swift Perry gear because he's got enough buffs up to ignore defense. And then we've got Ninja coming in with 8 million, which to be honest, his damage is nothing special because I didn't really build him with any damage. He has like 4,000 attack to bring that down a notch or two and to make it a bit more free to play friendly. So this is Ninja's, this is Loki's build then. I just went straight up with a accuracy build and speed. I didn't want to do anything fancy because I didn't want it to basically change my mind on this. We went for good HP, good defense, fastest debuffer out there. So person I can put on buffs, which is going to be 289, and then just enough accuracy. We're off overkill on accuracy, so you can definitely drop the accuracy down a little bit. We've got some obviously bonuses coming in from the thing. So again, for hard, which is where we used him, you only need about 250, 300 accuracy, which is generally enough depending on what heads are up there. And these are the stats overall. You can kind of see what's going on. I've tried to avoid using oil gear as best as possible. Obviously level 2 blessing. So for me, for level 2 blessing would be Brimstone because he's got accuracy. For mid game and early game players, Brimstone 5-star, which we all can earn for free, is massive as well. If you're more going towards end game teams, obviously you want to try something like Cruelty, maybe Natural Wrath, but I don't feel like he's going to do solid damage. We have no masteries, but we're going to talk about that in a second. So for me as well, best sets for him then would be Provoke. I think he would absolutely be a beast in Provoke with that block buffs and then the A3. You can also run Hex as well, which would be fantastic because it's got AoE on A1 and it can increase duration. I think it's 50% when it's booked, so it's super nice. Reflex could be okay. Relentless could be okay as well. They're definitely not bad options, but I feel that these are his best sets. So let's talk about masteries and then I'll let you guys go. So this is what the stuff that you would like to see. Now, if you're just going to build them like me, you obviously would go just War Master all the way down here with Life Drinker, and then you'll just come in with accuracy, Master Hex to try and increase the Hex or whatever you're trying to put on him. If you don't, and then if you don't put Hex set on him, you could just go like that. It's actually pretty good. Actually, I will change my mind there. It's pretty good for the blocked active buffs, right? The block buffs are pretty good for that as well. So I'd actually would stick with that. Now, if you're going to run a Provoke set and you're struggling to land it, you could go something like this as well with Fierce Presence. I would actually take away Retribution because if you haven't got no Samuel, it's an absolute nightmare. And then here you could just take something like Rapid Response or Arc Celery, whatever you fancy, more or less here. So I feel that these are two sets of style of buffs that you can go. I would personally always recommend to always go War Master because War Master is just super strong. And you want to get much damage as possible. So this would be my final masteries overall for him for HYDRA content. or any type of bosses as well, really. So hopefully that really helps you guys. Loki, I mean, I'm going to give him some ratings, but I don't know about campaign, but you guys can kind of see what I'm going to do. I think for arena, I'll give him a 4. For defense, I'll kind of give him a 3 because I think he's good. For Hydra, I think if he wasn't so much of a problem with auto, I'd give him a 5. But overall, I think because he has problems with this, I'm going to give him a 4. And then for Faction Wars, I'm not going to judge him in anything that I haven't really used him in. And honestly, I don't feel like it would be too strong in Sun Devil and Twins, but I might be wrong with that. It would be interesting to kind of see that as well. But yeah, that's where I'm going to rank him firstly myself. I've used him in Arena a little bit in the last video, so this is where we'll rank him with that anyway. Hopefully that really helps. Thank you to watching to the end. I know it's a long one, so it is one of them ones. And again, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Grim Reaper. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.